Welcome back to the Stephan Show. My name is Graham, and welcome to my show. And today we're going to be speaking with Ryan, who has some questions about real estate investing. He just recently bought a property, wants to know the best ways to rent that out, and what he should be doing to grow his money even further. So with that said, let's bring him on and see what this is all about. So Ryan, welcome to the Stephan Show. What's going on?
Hey, Graham. Yeah, I just had a few questions for you as far as rentals go, but a little bit about myself. I'm a physical therapist by trade. I live out in North Carolina. And 4 to 5 years ago, while I was in physical therapy school, my dad passed away. And, I ended up inheriting a pretty large sum of money at that time. It was roughly about $1.8 million.
Oh.
And, so that was a pretty shock to my life because we were extremely close. And,
Wow.
Also kind of all of a sudden overnight going from someone that had a few $1,000s in their bank account to all of a sudden, technically being a millionaire, was pretty scary for me. And, through that time, I was pretty terrified that I was going to be, one of those people you always hear about that blows through, that type of inheritance, and I did not want to be that person. So, while I was going through that, I just kind of searched out financial advice from all these different people, and came across that Dave Ramsey, and he kind of really spoke to me in a lot of good ways. I read all of his books, and as I kind of became more comfortable and did relatively well in that 5 years, that that 1.8 grew to close to 3 million now.
Wow.
It's just been a really interesting journey, and as I'm a full-time physical therapist, but now I've been kind of searching for the kind of next thing as far as building passive income, and I came across your channels and kind of learned a lot about how using debt as more of a tool, and just kind of learning from other different financial gurus, and kind of learning the pros and cons of someone as extreme as Dave Ramsey, where he says debt is a terrible thing, and then your opinions as far as using debt as a tool to grow your wealth and develop some passive income.
Right.
So I actually just invested in my first duplex rental property that I closed on January 1st. And now I'm just kind of trying to learn and becoming the best landlord I can, and kind of have the best manage a property and kind of going forward, and just because I just want to start things off on the right foot.
Makes sense. I gotta say, knowing this background, you are extremely smart. You've done what a lot of people would not be able to do, and have the discipline to really do something with what was given to you. And I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, by the way.
Thank you.
But to be able to have handled that maturely and responsibly like that, and to invest the money and grow it, that's the type of money really that you could leave a legacy for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I will absolutely commend you for that. And I think to basically go from that to Dave Ramsey, I think Dave Ramsey is the best in terms of playing it conservatively. In terms of playing it not to lose, you've done a phenomenal job at that. So, and at this point too, I don't really think you need to take a lot of risk. I think it's more important to you to grow this really just slow and steady at this point. That's a lot of money. So congratulations on getting your first duplex. So now, are you planning to move in and live in one of the units, or are you renting them both out?
No, I actually own my own personal property, and
Okay.
And then these are just more rentals.
Perfect. Sounds good. So what's the question with the duplex?
Yeah, so, some big questions I had was, your biggest advice as far as being, a good landlord and starting off on the right foot with a new tenant, screening those tenants, because I get calls all the time as I'm trying to get some tenants into those properties.
So I would say the biggest piece of advice, and this applies, by the way, to anybody watching this, if you want to invest in real estate, it's always better, just internalize this, it's always better to keep the property empty longer than get a bad tenant in sooner. Like, I would rather have a vacant place for 6 months than get one bad tenant in there who's going to make your life a living nightmare. So just always keep that in mind. It's better to keep it empty and wait for the right person to come along. I think tenant screening, you should put just as much time into that as you did buying the property in the first place. Like, I am always shocked how many people can buy a property and then they'll sink their life savings into something and they'll spend months buying something and then they'll pick a tenant within like 12 hours, just like whoever comes first. It blows my mind that they would put that much care into buying the place, but no care whatsoever into who lives there. And that is so important. So I would spend a lot of time tenant screening. Make sure you really verify and vet whoever's going to be in there. Even from the phone calls, usually I won't even make an appointment with someone unless I vet them over the phone. So I will ask them, like, when are you looking to move in by? What is your credit score? Do you work nearby? Why are you, why are you moving? Usually just by asking this. And then also, how many people are going to be there? And sometimes I've been, I've seen places, I've had places where it's like it's a 2-bedroom and there's supposed to be like 7 people living there, and I'm like, what? That's this, or people might call you and you have a place available in like February, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm looking to move in August. I'm like, what? Like, what goes through your mind when you want to move in a place? Like it's just the common sense stuff is not there with a lot of people, or people who just who don't make enough. Like, if the rent's $2,200 and they're making $25, you're not going to rent to them. So or their score could be like 550. Yeah. So I have a whole bunch of things in collections. My score is 550, but I'm ready to move now. It's like, no. So ask as much as you can over the phone as possible, and just get them talking a little bit. You'll be able to feel them out over the phone a little bit before you make the in-person appointment. Once you meet them in person, you show them the place, everything looks good. What I have them do is go to mysmartmove.com is a really great resource. They do like criminal background checks. They do credit reports, credit score. They do other information on the tenant. It's really good. I wish they were sponsoring the video. They're not. If they ever want to sponsor my videos, feel free, but that's what I use myself. Then after that, what I'll do is I'll verify their employment status. I'll verify their residence history to make sure they're actually living where they say they're living. And when you start doing this a while, I mean, you spot so many lies. I guess for me, it depends on the area. Like, my place is in San Bernardino, which is 45 minutes outside of LA. I want to say like over half the applications I get have lies on them. They've faked information. Now, that is a different price point than where I'm at in Los Angeles. But even LA, I've noticed maybe 1 in 5, 1 in 4 applications has a blatant lie on it. Like, they're lying about their landlord's phone number. They're lying about their employment history. They're trying to provide me with a fake credit report or fake financials. It's insane. So you got to spot those people out, and you got to get really good at being like a private investigator online, stalking them, finding their information, Googling all phone numbers. Never, by the way, call the numbers that they provide. So what I always do, if they provide a number for their employer, I'll Google the phone number to see like if it links back on Google to their actual employer. And sometimes you'll Google a number and see it's linked to an entirely different name. And so what I'll do instead is you Google the name of the company, you find the number directly, and then you call that number and you ask to speak with the person. And sometimes you're like, well, this person hasn't been working here for the last few months, or they were let go. You find out all crazy sort of stuff. Same with the landlord. Google the name, see if you can find the information yourself. Google the phone number, see what comes up when you do that. So a lot of times you can find some shady information from the tenants who are lying. So get really good at being a private investigator.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's roughly all the questions that I had for you right now. You got any questions you had for me?
I don't. Congratulations. I mean, you've done a really amazing job so far with your investing career. It sounds like you're playing it pretty safe. And I would just, if it were me, I would just, I'd just be safe. I'd be conservative with this. You don't need, like, the difference in lifestyle for you between 3 and 4 million is like, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot. So I would be more concerned with just preserving what you have and growing it slow and steady than taking any unnecessary risk at this time.
Right. That makes sense. All right, man.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the call, and keep me posted with this.
Sounds good.
Cool. You got it, man. Thanks again.
All right. Yep.
Talk to you later. Bye. Okay. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are interested, I just recently started up a weekly group like mentoring, coaching, consulting sessions, somewhat like this, except it's going to be personalized every single week, every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to join that group, the link is down below in the description with more information. So again, if you're interested in that, feel free to use that link. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily. So if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. And also, lastly, if you guys want 2 free stocks, use the link down below in the description. Webull will be giving you 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 on the platform. One of those stocks can be valued up to $1,400. So if you want a chance to get 2 free stocks, use that link. Webull is basically like a free stock trading platform similar to Robinhood, except it's a little bit more advanced. So again, if you want your 2 free stocks, use that link. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. And until next time.